Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making yet another Chico State video. This is going to be kind of more like a Q&A type of video where I'm going to be answering questions that you guys have asked me, as well as questions that I remember having when I was about to transfer to Chico State, and just I guess questions in general that anybody would have in regards to attending Chico State for the first time. If you guys don't know, I was a transfer student. I transferred last fall of 2019, so I've been attending Chico State for about a year now. Yes, my first year got cut off a little bit early because of coronavirus. I know, very sad. But regardless, I feel like I was out there a good amount of time and I was able to experience enough to be able to make this video for you guys. So the first question I have, well, it's kind of not really like a question. I don't really know exactly what this would be considered, but it's just in regards to feeling anxious about going away for school for the first time. Going away for college was one of the biggest goals that I had for myself. I definitely wanted to have that experience, and as soon as I got into Chico State and I committed to it, I was beyond happy. I think I committed to Chico State around March, and I wasn't gonna start school until August, so it was like 5 months away from me even leaving, and I was beyond excited. I just was counting down the days to be able to move out there. However, once it started to get closer to the time of me moving there, I did start to feel a little anxious, a little bit nervous. I remember the night before I left, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I made the wrong decision. What if I don't make friends? What if I have a horrible experience? I should have just stayed here in Sacramento. I should have just gone to Sac State. But it's natural to be nervous. It's natural to be anxious when you're going to experience something new. You always get those doubtful questions, but trust me, it's gonna be okay. I mean, look at my story. I moved in, my family and I said our goodbyes. All of my other roommates were still moving in. I was honestly sitting there on my bed for a while, just on my phone, because I just felt really awkward. One of my roommates just started talking to me, and then I started to help her organize everything in her room, and then she was like, oh, we should go to Starbucks later. So then we went to Starbucks later that night, and I think the next night we went out, and then we ended up meeting our neighbors and we went out with them, and it's been history since. Honestly, those first couple days were probably some of the best days of my life. All of my doubtful thoughts pretty much just vanished. Also, keep in mind that you're not the only one that's going to be new there. There's a lot of other people that are feeling the same exact way as you, and they're nervous about whether or not they're gonna make friends. So just know that you're not the only one that's feeling that way. So the next question I have here, since I am a transfer student, I have that
transfer student experience.
How is it to be a transfer student at Chico State? So I'm gonna be honest, I feel like being a transfer student in general, not just at Chico State, but at any school, it can feel like you're an outcast in a way, just because you're not a freshman, you're an upperclassman, you've experienced college before, you are older, just like the other upperclassmen. However, the only difference is that the other upperclassmen have been there since freshman year, and you're just as clueless as all the other freshmen are. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is a really weird position to be in. Honestly, I myself felt a little left out at the beginning when I started to meet people who were my same age and who went there since freshman year. They were talking about all these stories and all these experiences and memories that they had from previous years of being there, and I was just sitting there like, I'm the same age as you, but I don't have any of these memories or any of these stories to tell. Kind of makes you feel a little left out in a way, but don't let that get in the way of you having fun and enjoying your first year there as a transfer student. The next question I have is how to make friends. So, I mean, there's no clear answer to that, but I can definitely give you advice. But I feel like the very most important one, especially if you're a transfer student, is to live in school housing at least your very first year. Yes, I know that if you're a transfer student, you're like,
oh, I'm gonna be living with a bunch of freshmen. I don't want to live in school housing.
But trust me, there's a bunch of other transfer students who are going to be living in school housing. When it comes to Chico State, transfer students do not live in the dorms. They only are allowed to live in University Village, which, if you guys don't know, it is an apartment complex that is owned by Chico State. It's about a mile away from campus. It is apartment style, so it's not exactly a dorm. It has its own kitchen. You only share a bathroom with 2 other people rather than a whole hallway, and you have your own living room, and it's just more freedom, I guess you could say. Living in University Village was probably the best decision I made because literally all of the girls in my apartment were transfers except for one. I believe she was a sophomore, so she had started off there the year before. And luckily my entire building was all transfers too. Even my RA, he had also just transferred a year ago. So I feel like that helped me a lot, because since I was living with a bunch of transfers, we were all experiencing the same new things and, you know, learning about the whole Chico State environment together. If you are living in school housing, there is this place called the Hub. It's pretty much a room where they have a bunch of beanbag chairs, couches, they have a TV, they have game consoles, they have ping pong tables, they have board games, just a bunch of things where you can go there and you can hang out. They also host things like painting nights, movie nights, stuff like that. I personally didn't really go to those. I think I only went to like one, but I've heard that it's a great way to make friends. So there's that. A little disclaimer, the Hub is only for school housing students. So if you're not living in school housing, you can't attend the Hub. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to go ahead and add something else. Other great ways of making friends are joining clubs or sports. I know that the first couple weeks of school, there's a bunch of booths all over campus where clubs are recruiting new members. So that's definitely a good way to get to know more people. Also, if you are a transfer student and you are taking upper division classes, you most likely will have a lot of the same classmates throughout your classes. So there's another opportunity to get close to these people just because you are going to be seeing them more often. Anyways, just wanted to go ahead and add that little bit there. I thought it was important. So let's get back to the actual video. Next question is, what is there to do for fun in Chico? So Chico's a really small town. If you guys don't know, it's in the middle of nowhere, and there's not much to do. I mean, the main thing is going out, partying, having fun with your friends in the middle of the night. But aside from that, there are a couple other things that you can do. There's this place called Upper Bidwell. It is about 15 minutes away from the main town area, and it's pretty much just this really nice nature area, and it has a bunch of hiking trails. There's also this place called the Bear Hole that's in that area, and from what I've heard, I haven't been to it. I do plan on going to it later on, but from what I've heard, it's just this big hole full of water, and people hike up to that place and then they just swim and
have a grand old time there.
So there's that if you like, you know, nature or going for hikes, things like that. There's a really cute downtown area. In the summertime, they have little farmers markets there. They close down the streets so that people can just walk around and shop for like fruit or stuff like that. There's like taco trucks. I think they're hosted on Thursday nights only. But yeah, overall the downtown area is just really nice. There's a bunch of restaurants and things like that you can go to. So yeah, there's quite a couple things to do. It's not like super big attractions, but there's plenty of things to do there. So the next question is it hard to have a good balance between academics and fun? So I feel like this pretty much just depends on the person. I feel like you kind of have to learn and train your mind to prioritize what's important. When I went there, I obviously wanted to experience everything and have fun and make friends, but I also knew that this was going to be my 5th year of college and I really wanted to just graduate already. My main priority was school, so I knew that I had to prioritize that and then have fun. What you can do is, if you know you're gonna go out on the weekend, make sure you finish all of your homework that's due the following week and then go out, because nobody wants to not do their homework, go out, be super tired, and then have to wake up Monday and realize that you forgot to turn something in, or that you have one day to write a 10-page essay and you haven't started it. Just try to plan everything on your planner, have everything done in time, and then you can go out and have fun. Hey, it's me again. Just wanted to add something else. If there's ever a time where you realize that you need to study a little bit more for an exam or you need more time to finish an assignment, then it's okay to say no to your friends. Even if all of your friends are going out and having the times of their lives, don't give in. There's plenty of other times where you can go out and have your fun, so don't feel like you're missing out. I know it can be a bit hard to make these decisions on your own because now you are away from home. You don't have parents to tell you what to do, so you can easily be like, I'll do that later. But you really need to train yourself to be responsible because remember, you're here for school, so that should be your main priority. Anyways, sorry to interrupt. Back to the video. And the last question that I have here is Chico State really a party school? So I'm pretty sure that if you're watching this video because you know of Chico State, you know that it has a reputation for being a party school. I honestly don't know how to answer this question. I don't know if I just haven't been there enough to really be able to answer it, but based off of my experience, based off of what I've heard from others, Chico State can be a party school, but I feel like it has gone down in recent years. From stories that I've heard of people that have been there longer, they've told me that it used to be way wilder, way crazier. People would burn couches at night outside of their apartments. I experienced Chico-ween. It was pretty fun. I went out like 4 days in a row, but it wasn't as wild as I thought it was gonna be. People did say it used to be wilder, but the law enforcement has done certain things that have made it calm down. Bars closed way earlier on that day and things like that. I would say now it's not necessarily a super big party school anymore. I mean, it does have parties just like any other college would have. People do go out and get drunk and things. So I guess you take whatever you want to take from that. But those are all the questions that I have or that I could think of. If you guys have any other questions, definitely ask them and I would definitely be happy to answer them. Hey guys, it's me again. I just thought of another question that for some reason I completely forgot to go over during the video. So now you're gonna get this poor quality, no makeup look. But the question is, how is the overall Chico State environment? So as I mentioned before, Chico is a really small town, so you really get that small college town feel, and personally I really like that because I mean, I do overall prefer to live in a bigger city type of environment, but when it comes to going to school, I really love having that college town feeling because you just feel more welcome and you're pretty much surrounded by a bunch of people who go to school just like you and who have the same struggles just like you and who want to go out and have fun just like you. It definitely is really nice to be in an environment like that when you're in college. So if you're looking for something like that, Chico is definitely the place to go to. If you're used to living in a bigger city, it will be somewhat of a change for you. I'm from Sacramento. Sacramento's not that big, for example, like LA, but it is still a pretty big city. So yeah, it did take me a while to get used to a smaller town, but overall, I really like it for college. So yeah. Anyways, back to the video. Hi again. I promise this is gonna be the last time that you guys see me. What keeps happening is that I keep editing this video and I'm about to upload it and then I realize that I forgot to answer a question or I think of a new question and I just keep adding things. So the question that I thought of this time is actually quite important, I would like to say, and that's why I just had to add it. And that is, how hard is it to find a job out in Chico? As I mentioned before, Chico is a pretty small town, and then on top of that, I also did mention that the majority of the people who live there are college students. And as you all may know, college students are broke, so a lot of them like to have part-time jobs, and they pretty much take up all of the jobs that are available in Chico. So it's quite competitive to find a job in Chico. The first tip that I can give you guys is to look for a job as soon as possible. As soon as you know that you're going to be going to Chico and you plan on having a job, even though you're not going to be moving out there until the fall or whenever it is that you move, if you do score an interview, tell them that you won't be there until the fall, and I'm pretty sure they'll understand because they're used to hiring a bunch of college students from all over the place. My roommate, she actually was smart enough to do that, and she scored a job before she even moved out to Chico. I I, on the other hand, did not do that. I actually ended up getting lucky, however, because I ended up scoring a job probably like 2 or 3 weeks into living in Chico. There happened to be a place that was hiring right when I was applying, so that worked out for me. So my biggest thing is apply as soon as possible. The more deep into the semester you get, the harder it is to find a job. My roommate ended up looking for other jobs later on in the semester, and she struggled so much. I feel like she went through about a month of going from interview to interview, dropping resumes all over the place, applying online everywhere, and she just wasn't getting anything. No calls back, nothing. Just keep in mind, the longer you wait, the harder it is. Also, another little disclaimer I want to pop in here. The reason why my roommate started to look for another job, and the reason why I myself ended up getting another job later on, is because you're not guaranteed that many hours. Even if you score a job, you may start off with the amount of hours that you requested. For example, I requested about 15 to 20 hours, and I was getting those hours, but then once we got deeper into the semester, I started to get less and less hours, and eventually I reached a point where I was only getting like 10 hours a week. My roommate was getting even less. She was only getting about 2 to 4 hours a week. That's literally nothing. So that is a big reason why both her and I ended up looking for other jobs. I luckily was able to find a job that offered me a lot of hours. They were giving me 25 hours. I took it, but then I realized it was a little too much, so I did end up dropping down the hours that I was working. But either way, I was so happy that I found this job, and I actually ended up getting my roommate that job as well. Overall, yes, it can be hard to find a job in Chico, but it's definitely not impossible. If you can't find something soon, don't get discouraged. Just remember to be patient, and I'm sure that you'll eventually find something that works for you. But anyways, I've been chatting it up here for way too long. I guess let's get back to the Kimberly that's more put together. Overall, I would like to say that Chico State is a really great school. It does have its flaws, just like any other school, I would say, but I'm very proud to be a Wildcat, and I can't wait to go back there and have more experiences and make more memories and make more friends. It is going to be my last year, so I really want to take advantage of that, live it to the fullest. If you got accepted into Chico State and you're considering on whether or not to go there, I would definitely recommend that you consider it. That's all I have to say for now, so I guess I'll see you guys next time I remember to record. Bye!